Look, if you are self-employed or a 1099, I'm gonna lay the roadmap out how you can get up to $150,000 in business credit funding. Usually you can do this in about 90 to 120 days, but you have to follow this roadmap. Now, the first one we're looking at is Giggle Finance. It may not be a whole lot of money starting out, but if you're self-employed, a 1099, and you have money going to your bank account, they will loan you up to $5,000. And as you can see here, what it says, Giggle Finance provides working capital finance for 1099 workers, independent contractors, consultants, and so on, right? Self-employed. Now, here's the thing about it. They're doing this on no credit check. That's right. They're going based off of the revenue you bring in. Now, here's the thing about it I want to tell you guys, and I know that's not a small amount, but one of the key factors I just said in reference to you getting this is making sure that you have an active bank account. Now, if you're self-employed, most people aren't even structured right. I would tell you to actually structure yourself, because if you structure yourself, you're going to actually bring in more money. Especially if you want to try to get up to $150,000. And most people, they would look over pay stubs. And I continue to tell you guys, and that's where I tell you, I put the link in the description. Hey, get the pay stub set up. Let that pay stub actually become a trade line for your Experian and Dun & Bradstreet file. That's right. So you get in the pay stub. Now those pay stubs, you can take those pay stubs back to the bank to show and prove that you're generating income, and you can get more money. Now that's the first step. And like I said, this is Giggle Finance. Now the next lender we're talking about is DreamSpring. Now with DreamSpring, here's the interesting thing about DreamSpring. DreamSpring will work with just anybody. You have to have at least a 620 credit score. Now one of the things about this, with the 620 credit score, DreamSpring will report both on the personal side as well as the business side. But again, with DreamSpring, I always tell people you want to go for this line of credit. That's what you want. You always want to go for the line of credit because it's revolving. Now, in terms of the amount of the line of credit, their revolving line of credit goes up to $50,000. Up to $50,000 with 620 credit score. TransUnion FICO 9 is funded through Upstart. Okay? I'm giving you all the roadmap to actually fund it, and I'm picking some of the lowest hanging fruit to help you to be able to get access to funding. All right. Now let's just say that Giggle Finance gave you $5,000. Let's just say DreamSpring just say that they gave you $25,000. Right. All right. Now again, one of the key elements in order for you to get the money is, I would tell you, you should be a structured business. If you don't know the best structure, then click the link, schedule a one-on-one consultation. Number two is making sure that you have payroll. Now I know a lot of people, well, I don't want the IRS and this and stuff. Let me tell you, I would rather pay the IRS $2,000 if the IRS is going to vouch for me to get $50,000 or $100,000. I'm telling you guys, you're leaving money on the table because you're not really utilizing your companies the right way of leverage. All right. Now that's another low-hanging fruit. The next low-hanging fruit is BCU. That's right, Baxter Credit Union. All right. Now here's the thing about it with Baxter Credit Union. You have to become a member. But this is 4 ways you can become a member: by employment, community charter, family, life, money, and you organization. You pay $5, they waive the $5, you become a member. Now, why is this credit union so important? Because it uses Vantage3 TransUnion. And I keep telling you guys, using Vantage scoring credit unions is the easiest way to get funding, especially if you have lower credit scores. going through these type of credit unions definitely will put you in a better position. So with Vantage Credit Unions, their situation is that they offer business credit cards. They offer business lines of credit. Now, one of the things about it, their application may be lengthy because they want to know about your business. They want to know about you. Why do you need the money? All of these things, they may ask why you need the money. Do not, and I'm glad I brought that up about why do you need the money, because this is so important. Many people, because they choose the wrong NAICS code, is why they're having the challenges of raising capital. All right, and if you don't know if your business is under the right NAICS code, I would definitely encourage you to click the link in the description, schedule a one-on-one consultation, right? Because you don't want something like that stopping you from getting funding for your business. Now, like I said, these are low-hanging fruit that we're going after here, all right? And these are, you're talking about your tier 2, your tier 3, and your tier 4 funding institutions is what we're focused on. We're staying away from our tier 1. There's only one that's up here that we're going to be talking about. That's a tier 1 that I would definitely tell you guys that you may want to consider. But it's the only institution, right? But all these other ones are very low-hanging fruit, and because that one tier 1 is a low-hanging fruit, you may want to consider that one as well, right? Now, going back to this Vantage TransUnion 3, the reason we like Vantage TransUnion 3 is because you can add the rental payments, you can add the utility payments, you can add the subscription payment, you can add authorized users onto your file and build up your Vantage scoring much faster than your FICO scoring. Okay, this is why you should be doing this. So when you go over to Credit Karma and Credit Karma says, hey, your credit score is a 720, right? Now on your TransUnion. But if you look at your FICO score may say, hey, your credit score is only a 650, a 660, right? So now you're at a dilemma, like, which one do I work with? Take advantage of the Vantage 3 scoring, but the thing about it, knowing which one that actually will leverage that score. So that's why you're here on this video, because we're looking at low-hanging fruit for your business. If you're self-employed, you're new to being an entrepreneur, this is the video that you want to stick with. It's Randolph Brooks Federal Credit Union. Now, why I love this here, it's a Vantage scoring credit union as well. But here's the kicker. It's a Vantage 4, all right? Now, with the Vantage 4, it's almost like your trending 10T FICO score. For those that don't know your trending 10T FICO score, click the link in the description so you can learn about it and schedule one-on-one. I can explain it to you. But here's the cool part about it. With this Vantage 4 scoring system, just like the association with the Vantage 3, the Vantage 4 goes a step further. And what I mean by going a step further, now they're not going to be looking at public records. They're not going to be looking at medical bills. They're not going to be looking at, say that you're shopping for rates and you get all these inquiries within a 14-day period. They look at that as just one inquiry. That's what they're doing. So this Vantage scoring is totally different on the 3 and 4, and it's becoming much more better, right? So Randolph Brooks Federal Credit Union, you do have to become a member of them, but they offer the business credit card as well. Christian Community Credit Union, Vantage 4, they offer business credit cards. The Mission Visa Business Reward, the Mission Aviation Fellowship. So they have an International Missionaries Visa. This is a Vantage 4 institution, right? And I made a separate video in terms of explaining how to join and things of that nature. But definitely, NASA Federal Credit Union. I know a lot of us have been going to NASA. We like surprised, they're giving us high limits. Now, NASA does offer a business credit card. They offer a business credit card. But here's the kicker to NASA. NASA switched over to Experian VantageScore. That's right, they're Experian VantageScore. There used to be mortgage too, but they switched it over. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with your mortgage credit card scores, again, click the link, get your real credit file. I'll teach you how to read it because it's very important, because you don't have to always run to a Chase Bank, a Bank of America, a Wells Fargo. Now, let me state this though. It's important, very important, that you guys must have one of the gatekeepers, right? The reason is because I'm showing you all of these other institutions that are Vantage scoring institutions and stuff. When you make your deposits and stuff, it's not reporting to business credit bureaus. So you're gonna need one of the gatekeepers. Now, my top gatekeepers are Capital One, Citibank, and Chase. All right, those are my top 3 gatekeepers. The reason is because they report to more business credit bureaus. They report to Experian Business, Equifax Business, Small Business Financial Exchange, and share with Dun & Bradstreet. And here's the kicker. None of them are relying on Dun & Bradstreet. It has nothing to do with a paydex score. It has nothing to do with net 30s on the file. So that's the reason I'm telling you guys, this is the format. If you're trying to get funding, you always want to go for the lowest hanging fruit. Now, if you're confused about some institutions and stuff, like I know some people say, well, I got Bluevine. Bluevine doesn't do anything for you on the checking side. It does not do anything. You have to actually have one of their products in order for it to report to the Business Credit Bureau, which is Dun & Bradstreet. But on the checking side, it doesn't. That's the reason you have to have a gatekeeper, and then you want to have one of these institutions. Now, these are all, we just went over tier 4s, tier 3s, okay? Now we're going to jump into the tier 2s. So one of my favorite tier 2 institutions is PNC Bank, which they took over BBVA. So they pull Experian FICO 9, Experian FICO 9. Now they offer some amazing credit cards. They do offer some amazing credit cards, right? And again, not only do they offer amazing credit cards, and again, it's FICO 9, but they also offer lines of credit. Lines of credit from $20,000 up to $100,000. And the good part about it with their lines of credit, you don't have to be in business no 2 years. Like with your major banks, this is a regional bank, by the way, it's a tier 2. With your major banks, usually they want 18 to 24 months, all right? Now, there's only one that will accept you as a newbie for a line of credit, and that's Wells Fargo. And Wells Fargo offers 2 types of lines of credit, so you have to be very careful because one of their line of credit goes up to $50,000, the other one goes beyond $50,000. Now the one that goes up to $50,000, and both of them require that you have at least a 680 credit score, okay? And that's with Wells Fargo, okay? And they're very flexible and very generous with their line of credit for newbies, for entrepreneurs and things of that nature. But again, like I said, we're focusing on the regional institutions where you're able to get them. So this is a tier 2 institution. Now, I mentioned about a tier 1. This is my only tier 1 that I would go with when I have a very low credit score, 580 credit score. And this is Capital One because they offer this here business credit card here. Now, unfortunately, with this here business credit card, they do report both on the business side and the personal side. But when we're going out the money for our business, we're trying to raise $150,000. We don't care who they report to, long as they're able to approve us for funding. All right. Now, if I'm doing a good job and you all are liking this content, would you do me a favor? Give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, give me a like, and would you share? I hope that I'm helping you guys out. And like I said, it says fair credit, so at least a 580 credit score you have to have with that. Let's go back to the tier 3. Here's another one, BMO. All right. So with BMO, they offer the business credit cards as well. Now, the reason I like BMO, because as you can see here, this is their best credit card. It's 0% on purchases and balance transfers for 18 months. That's free money for 18 months where you're able to liquidate this credit card, use the cash to buy product, buy supplies, buy advertisement, whatever you need for your business. They're able to do it. So this is why this card, and again, like I said, it's a regional bank. And since it's a regional bank, you definitely are able to have more flexibility. With your tier 1 banks and stuff, they're kind of conservative, especially if you're a DBA or one owner LLC or one owner partnership. Whenever it comes to limited liabilities, pass-through companies, a lot of financial institutions, especially tier 1s, they're very conservative when it comes to funding, especially if you're not bringing in large deposits and things of that nature. So that's the reason why we show you the tiers in terms of where you should start. And that's with PayPal, the PayPal Business Cashback Card. Here's the thing about it, what people don't understand about PayPal. They've been sleeping. PayPal pulls Experian FICO 9. You do not, once again, need Dun & Bradstreet. You do not need a paydex score. You do not need net 30s. One of the things that PayPal would look at is see if you have a business account with them and that business account with them has been open for at least a year. But here's the cool part about it. PayPal is very generous when it comes to funding. They're very good when it comes to funding. So when you have a business account with them, not only can you get funding even if you have bad credit for their loans and lines of credit, but they're able to give you funding with their credit cards as well. So that's the reason I tell you, a lot of people sleep on PayPal. PayPal is a major player when it comes to funding. All right. Now, if you have any questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off of the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.